Hey, my name is Ben Fraser. I'm the founder of Ready.Set.Van. We're an independent van conversion company based here in Trenton, New Jersey. And we launched our company 3 years ago now with a van layout that we called the Basecamper. It was an open floor plan, very clean, modern interior that we built on the Promaster. And people absolutely love it. I think we have about 65 or 70 of those on the road right now. Ever since we started building those, people have been asking us, when are we going to do the Basecamper on a Sprinter platform? And that's what we've got today. Right behind me, we've got the first ever Sprinter 144 Basecamper. Let's go check it out. The story behind this van is kind of interesting. Actually, we've had a few clients recently. They sort of bought whatever they could get their hands on, fell in love with van life over the last couple years, but fell out of love with the build inside the van that they built. And so we've actually had 3 different clients very recently come to us, ask us to rip out a pre-existing build and put in a beautiful home. And so that's what we did for this guy as well. So interestingly, so it came with, he'd already done a lot of exterior modifications. We did very few exterior modifications to this. He installed this backwoods rack, threw some lights up on there. He's got some LP9 lights on the front. He put some big Falcon Wild Peaks on there. Lifted it, put a whole van compass lift kit on there, which is pretty awesome. You know, it is a big, beastly van. For the 144 Basecamper, we do put in the bump outs, the flares. So we put those in, painted them black. He's kind of going with the whole panda look, which I think is sweet. And then the other thing that we installed is a set of amp power steps. So because the van is so high, it really is kind of a big step to get in and out of the van. And even just some regular running boards, it's still going to be a big step up to get onto those running boards. So the nice thing about the power step is they tuck away, and as soon as you open a door, they just pop out, and they're really low, and they're just fantastic. And when you're done, you close the door, they just pop up after a second or two and tuck away, and you don't have to worry about hitting on rocks or trees or you know, curbs or anything like that. So let's check it out inside. So when I designed the first Basecamper a few years ago, I was really designing it with my own kind of desires in mind. You know, I didn't want a full-time shower in my van, and you know, not having the shower in the van meant that you know, really could open up the space and create you know, a nice open floor plan with, you know, clean sight lines. And a lot of airflow too. And I just absolutely love this layout. It's great for entertaining. You can get 3, 4, 5 people in here pretty comfortably, and everybody's having a great time. But it's also great just being here, you know, by yourself. I use my van a lot for work. It's just a quiet place I can go. I kind of use it as my office sometimes. If you're ever here at our shop, you might see me doing some work in my van out in the parking lot. It's great. When I'm doing that, sometimes, you know, I typically sit here a lot. I like sitting here because I'm facing the slider door. Usually have the door open, or at least I can look out the window, and I just like having that in my peripheral vision when I'm doing something. It makes me very happy. But also, I spend a lot of time sitting here. I'll turn this cushion against the wall here, throw my feet up on the bench seat, and just be working there with the slider door open. Just like a constant breeze. It's absolutely lovely. Especially on like a day where it's like a little bit rainy or misty. I'll put the awning out a little bit, slide this open, and it's just absolutely delightful. So yeah, why don't I give you a tour, we'll walk through piece by piece. We'll start with the bench seat here. So this client decided to get a microwave installed, and typically when we do a microwave install, we either put it in the overhead or we put it in the passenger bench seat. I actually prefer it in the passenger bench seat because microwave is something you use pretty infrequently. It's easy enough to get to it here, but also means it's kind of out of sight, and I think microwaves aren't really very attractive, so I like to kind of tuck them away. So that's what we did. So we got the microwave just right down here. If you need to use it, just pop it open, put your foods in, and you know, that's pretty straightforward. We've got a drawer underneath here. You're going to notice something about all the drawers in the vans right now, which is like our RV latches are not installed, so you're not going to hear any really positive click sound when we close it. Those will be installed, and these drawers will all be secure when you're traveling down the road. Let's check out the toilet. So I just put a cassette toilet in here, but actually our client's going to be getting something called a Trillino. I've actually never seen that toilet in person. I'm pretty excited to see it. There's actually a lot of new toilets that have come out in the last year. It's kind of crazy. So I did a pretty complete toilet video about a year ago, and what's crazy is that a lot has changed since then. So we're going to be doing another one probably in a month or two where we cover all these new toilets. So if that's information you want to see, make sure you subscribe, and then you'll get notified whenever I make that video. So anyway, we can put a lot of different toilets in here. It's easiest to put ones that don't have venting as a requirement because underneath we have a stainless steel shower pan that we had fabricated. And what's great about this is we've got a little shower mixer right here. So that's connected to our water system, obviously. We've got a 4-gallon electric hot water heater on board. And so that'll get you hot and cold water. Yeah, so after you set your water temperature, you can just click this on. And you got your shower head. It's got a little off and on switch on it, which is handy. And then up in the ceiling, we've got these T-nuts that are recessed into the ceiling. So just take some little eye bolts, thread them into the ceiling, and there's 2 more over there. And clipping your shower curtain, just drape it inside the bench there, and you're good. You got a shower. After your shower is done, just let that dry out, fold it up, tuck it away, and no more shower. It's a pretty nice setup. And then right on the passenger side wall, we've got our lighting dimmers. This is for our overhead lights, and then this one here is for our bed lights back here. So we have indirect lighting on our headboard and also our footboard, which is some of my favorite lighting in the van, actually. Like at night when I'm hanging out in here, I set that head and footboard lights just like real low. Maybe I'll turn the kitchen light on real low, and it's awesome. I love it. These are great for task lighting, and you want to clean, you want to get things done, you want to shoot a video. They're great. This is kind of a new thing for us. We're pretty excited about it. We're going to be using the Victron Cerbo system along with this display unit, and this is going to make it possible so we can see all your battery levels. You can see everything that your electrical system is doing. We can see your water tank levels. And what's amazing is this is also syncing to a web-based dashboard that we will be managing for all the vans that go out with this, so that we can also, if somebody calls in, they have a support question, they don't think their solar is working or something, we can actually log into their van and see what's going on. It's freaking awesome. We're going to be doing a whole video on that pretty soon, so we'll go into much more detail about that. But that is freaking sweet. This is the Webasto temperature control. So this is how you control the heat in your van. Webasto, 8 months out of the year, Webasto is your best friend. It's just freaking awesome. It'll keep this van toasty down to honestly any temperature. I mean, we use a 4000K unit, which is a little overpowered for this size van, but we prefer it that way. It's much nicer just to always be able to get it up to a nice 70 degrees in here, no matter what's going on outside. We put it here so that you have easy access from your bed, easy access sitting here. It's just nice having it in a central location. This also has a Bluetooth connectivity to it, so there's an app that you can use to control it as well. So in the center of the van, we have what in the shop we call the center cabinet, which is this unit right here. We can do it in 2 different ways. We can do it with either like a pretty large set of drawers here, which is awesome storage, or we can do it as a pass-through door that just passes through into the garage area. The pass-through is really great if you have dogs, or depending on how you want to use your garage storage area, if you want to be able to have access to it from the inside. But above it, we always have this pop-out table. This table just is on push-lock slides. It comes out and it locks out pretty solidly with some magnets. it's a nice sized table. It's not huge, but 2 people can, eat dinner here. You can also spread out with your laptop and other things. I work a lot actually at the table in my van, and it's really nice. This client decided to go with a birch interior, so this is a birch finish table, but the most common other finish that we do is a walnut finish. And yeah, it's just a lovely piece. To close it, you just pop the magnets and lock it back in. These drawers below are enormous. These are 26 inches deep. They are just the mother of all storage. There are 3 of them, and they're fantastic. And I don't know. It's really tempting to just put everything under the sun in there. But they're awesome. And again, of course, you have the option of doing a pass-through instead. So either way, it just depends on your desires. On the driver's side of the van, we have the driver's bench seat. Right over here, we have the on-off switch for our inverter. That's just where you can turn your inverter on and off. It's nice to have that handy. And then underneath, we've got another drawer, nice big drawer. And then below that, this is the outlet for where our Webasto, where the hot air comes out from the Webasto. The way we hook up the Webasto, it's actually drawing the cool air in from back in the garage area. I'll show you that. What's nice about that is because the intake is in the garage, it creates a convective current throughout the van. So the hot air from the front of the van gets drawn into the garage, heats the whole van very evenly. And there's a lot of benefits to that, not the least of which is pretty much eliminating the chance of any mold or condensation building up under your mattress. We've got a 110 volt outlet down there as well, which is great for plugging in your laptop or something. And over here we got our kitchen. Okay, great. So in our kitchen unit in the Basecamper, the build that we ripped out of this van actually had a bunch of components that we were able to reuse. So this Rivati sink is one of them. This was in the original van, and so was the fridge. So I'll show you in a minute. So we have this beautiful Rivati stainless sink. Really love this. It's got this nice faucet. I actually don't know where he got that, but it's nice. It's great. What's nice about this sink is, it's not very big, but it's actually very deep. It actually is a great sink for washing things, and it's just very, very functional and attractive. Over here, we've got a single induction cooktop. We're huge fans of the induction cooktops. They work great. They're incredibly efficient. They don't give off don't present a carbon monoxide threat. They don't create lots of extra moisture in the van. They're just great. And of course, they work great with our electrical system, which is based on a 3,000 watt inverter. It's kind of a over-spec'd system, so it works great for that type of device. Underneath the sink here is our gray tank. So we actually have, this van has 2 gray tanks. There's a gray tank inside the van just for the sink, and then there's a gray tank under the van for the shower. And the reason we do that is so that you can really use this van as a 4-season van. So if this actually, one of the first places this van is going to be going is out to Park City, where right now I think they have like 5 feet of snow or something. So what he's going to do, he's going to leave that undermount tank that's connected to the shower, and he's just going to leave the valve for it open, just so the water will just go, and the shower water will just spill out on the ground. No problem. And then the gray tank from the sink will collect inside. It'll keep warm inside the van with Webasto and everything. And then when they want to dump that tank separately, they can do that independently. So it's just a way of making it just so that you can really use this home like you would use any other home. You just have more options, so it's good. So underneath here, you can see actually in the back there we have our gray tank, and then we have a little trash can here. One thing that's not installed yet here is going to be a paper towel holder that's going to go right here, and then right under here there's also going to be space for a water filter as well. Over here we made this pretty cool little pantry. I dig this. We had a tiny, narrow little space to work with, and I think we did a good job of making the most of it. So it's nice. You got a little tray on top too, so you can put knives and things like that. And I don't know. I think it's pretty neat. Over here, we've got our fridge. So this fridge was actually from the original van. It's the same fridge that we normally use, so we just popped it in. It's a CRX80. It's a great fridge. Looks like it needs cleaning, but it's an awesome fridge, really reliable. One of the things we like to do in all of our vans is to put like a sneaky little kick drawer that nobody knows about. It's great for, whatever you don't want people to know about. And you just push it in and it pops out. And it's great because, you know, sort of hiding in plain sight, which is nice. On the end of the kitchen over here, we've got some switches. We've got our hot water heater switch. We've got switches for our water pump and things like that. And then we've got 2 switches right behind the driver's seat to dump your 2 gray tanks. So if you're, you know, in a field or on a dirt road and you feel like it's, you know, acceptable to dump your gray tanks there, you can just reach back, flip those down, and 2 little electric ball valves will open and all your water will just spill out on the ground. So it's pretty handy. So we installed 2 CRL windows in this van, one on the slider and then one on the driver's side here. On the outside of the van, they're awesome. They're like have a really nice OEM look. They're just slick. They have 2 little T-vent windows here that you can open up, get quite a bit of ventilation in through there. For reasons I'm not really going to go into too much, I think we're probably not going to do the CRL on the driver's side anymore in the Basecamper. I'm not really thrilled with it. Probably going forward, we're going to do like an Arctic turn style window that awnings out, so you get more ventilation, but then also the lines of your window aren't intersecting with the lines of your countertop and things like that. I think it'll just be a little cleaner. And of course, up here we've got our overhead cabinets. One thing that we like to do on all of our overhead cabinets is to grain match them. So what that means is you can kind of see the grain pattern is consistent all the way through from one board to the next. And the way we do that is by cutting these on our as one long set of pieces on a single sheet on our CNC machine. So it's just like kind of a nice little touch, but you know, it's the little things in life that make you happy. And most people never even notice that, I think, but I do. So. And they just open up. This actually, they don't have their gas struts installed yet, and they need a little more finish work inside, but you get the idea. So the storage area up front, it's really great for kitchen goods and things like that. And back here, awesome for clothes, t-shirts, you know, whatever you got going on. Let me show you the bed. In the Sprinter 144, we've got a full-size mattress. It goes all the way out into our flares, but it's just a standard full-size mattress. It's an 8-inch foam mattress, super comfy. We put padded headboards at the head and foot, which is really nice. Just kind of like when you're sleeping, if you rub up against it, it's very nice. Right up above, we've got the MaxxFan. You know, that thing is legendary. I probably don't need to tell you anything about that. And otherwise, it's just, you know, it's sweet. It's a comfy, lovely place to take a nap or spend a night. All right, let's check out the garage. So here's the garage for the Basecamper. As you can see, we've got our electrical system on this side. We've got our plumbing system on that side. In the middle, we've got the back side of that center cabinet that we were talking about earlier. One option, of course, is to delete the center cabinet and just have a pass-through, which, as you can see, would create a lot more storage back here. So it's really a question of, you know, where do you want to have your storage? Do you want to have it like drawers that are accessible from the inside, from the front, or do you want to have more space for bikes or whatever else you got going on? You know, our electrical system is, you know, we use all Victron components, and everything is really kind of over-spec'd for what most people need, but we find by doing that, it leads to people just not having to think about their electrical system. You know, it's like in your home, you know, you don't think about, you know, how many amps your main panel is or things like that. You know, you're just used to stuff working, and that's kind of how we feel like it should be in a van. So we always use a 3,000 watt inverter. That's what's behind this door here. That will power your air conditioner if you have one. He doesn't have one on board, but that'll power your induction cooktop. You can run 2 induction cooktops off of that at a time. Your electric hot water heater, any or 110 outlets, any of those things. It's more power than you need, but that's kind of what you want. We typically spec our electrical system to be just a little bit more than you need, and then you really don't have to worry about it. This guy has 500 amp hours of batteries on board, which, given the fact that he doesn't have an air conditioner, is ample. So he's really never gonna have to worry about anything. Down here, is where we've got our DC-DC chargers, our solar charge controller, and a couple other things. All of that's in there. You don't really need to worry about it. It's kind of set it and forget it. That's all connected to that display that we looked at earlier. So really all of your system information is there, and you really never need to go in here. On the passenger side, we've got our plumbing system. We've got a 30-gallon water tank here. We've got a 4-gallon electric hot water heater up front, and a pressure fill system right here. So we've switched away from a gravity fill system where, you know, you basically just have a hole, you stick a hose in the hole, and it's going to fill up your tank. that works fine. It's really simple. But one of the problems is if you forget, that you've got your hose in there, or and it fills up all the way, or even gets close, a lot of times you start getting water spitting back out, and then of course you fill up all the way, then you're going to get water everywhere. And it's inevitable that you're going to do that. You're just going to forget, that the hose is filling up. You're going to go do something else, and then you're going to get distracted. And next thing you have water all over the place. So instead, we use this quick connect on the end of a hose. So you put that on the hose, you click it right on there. And what's great about that is there's literally no way that it can spill. It'll fill up your tank. As your tank fills all the way up and it gets to the top, it's going to reach the vent tube that's on the top of your tank. And basically the water is just going to start going out that vent tube. And that vent tube is plumbed all the way down underneath your van. So when you're filling this up, when it gets to the top, water is going to start spilling out underneath your van. You just disconnect it, everything's great, and your tank is literally at 100%, which is awesome. Down here we've got another shower connection. So this is a shower mixer for hot and cold water. And again, if you want to take a shower off the back of your van, just click it on there. You got a shower head here, and it's great. It's great for just a quick rinse down. It's great for dogs. And it's great for bikes, it's just handy. So that pretty much wraps up our tour of the 144 Basecamper. I'm super stoked on this. I'm really excited actually to do a few iterations of this layout. Usually the first one's pretty close to being exactly what we want, but then there are little things that we want to try and improve. And we already know we got a short list of things that we want to improve for the next one. And I'm pretty excited to start building the next one, which actually is sitting in our parking lot right now. So thanks for checking this out. We have actually a ton of new vans, new layouts that we're going to be releasing over the next 6 months. A lot of stuff going on right now. A lot of stuff on the Sprinter platforms, and then a lot of stuff also still on the Promaster. So if you haven't subbed, go ahead and do it, because then you can see that stuff when it comes out. And otherwise, thanks for checking out. Hope you're having a great day. Peace.